I wish that Jacob would wear pants in the afternoon.
Welcome to another episode of Tales from the Void podcast. I bring you your glorious hosts.
I'm 3-Drink Sean.
I'm Josh.
I've had a sip, and we have an extra special guest today.
I'm Jacob.
Hi, Jacob.
Welcome.
What makes me extra special?
Because you're like special sauce.
Apparently not as special as me.
Let's rock and roll.
That's how Dad did it. That's how America does it. And it's worked out pretty well so far.
Jacob, thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate you having you here.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you having us with you.
I appreciate us all being around this orange globe in the middle.
There's so much appreciation in this room.
Yeah.
I know Josh wants to ask you a couple of questions. He's really eager. Antsy in his pantsy?
I have what in my pants?
Antsies.
I do have antsies. First question. If you could pick one superpower, you could have any one superpower, what would you pick?
Ooh, I think it's always been flying. I don't know. Sounds like fun.
Man after my own heart. That's why I adopted him.
Flying.
It's a general answer, but it's pretty hard to pass up.
You know, I could be more specific. Like, I wish I had like the shell of a turtle around my body, but not like a mutant ninja turtle, like my body, but with the turtle shell.
So like you would be super hard all over.
Just
Why don't you
around-
just do crunches or something?
What does that change
No,
on a
just like to
Tuesday, then?
recoil into it and then like be impervious to things.
Yeah.
But that's super specific. So I'd rather fly.
Now, would you couple ninja skills with your turtle body so you could be like a ninja turtle?
No, that was just really an example off the top of my head of a thing.
You wouldn't
that
want to just pick invincibility. You would specifically want a shell.
Yeah, what about Colossus? Colossus-like powers.
No, I'd rather have Wolverine-like powers if I was going to go
A
with
healing factor.
the healing and then also the adamantium coated.
Yeah.
But that's, again, so specific. Just superpower fly would be an awesome way to get around town.
I like it.
I would take it.
I like it. What else you got?
Super speed.
Next one. What is the best thing that happened to you this past weekend?
Oh, I guess, was it this past weekend that we got married? It was the weekend. It was the weekend before that.
So Jacob's already in trouble. His lovely wife is sitting with us in studio, and it's
That was
Maybe he was just confused by the timing of what the past weekend would be.
Yeah, because I like
Okay.
this. It's Monday, so I consider this still part of the weekend, especially because we're.
You know what? I'll allow it.
So
I'll allow it. He got married.
Josh's
He got married.
superpower is to dig people out of a hole. Apparently, that's
Yeah.
his specialty.
Or just bury me in a hole.
Yeah.
Of my
Bury
own
me in-
shame and my pot-addled memory. But
Hey, no, that's amazing though. Where'd you get married?
we got married at Cliff Bell's,
Cliff Bell's.
downtown Detroit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's a little jazz club down there.
Who'd you get married to?
This
kidding.
this lovely little gal sitting to my
Mike
right.
is a male.
Yeah, dude. And I'm your dad, technically.
I said this lovely little male sitting to my right. Andy's my dad, so that makes it a really interesting family reunion.
They're moving to Howell.
Our Facebook relationship status is complicated, so that's how that goes.
Thank God they opened up a few more options.
I know, really. But it's awesome. Awesome. Great having you on. Did love come first and then marriage? Are we expecting baby in a baby carriage?
Jacob, are you pregnant?
Oh, not quite yet. No,
Okay.
no.
All right. Whew. I'm kidding.
Georgia, don't force him into anything he doesn't want. Don't get him pregnant.
Don't get him from. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. All right. On today's show, we're going to talk about. Wow.
Wait, was I the only one with questions?
Were you
Yeah, I didn't have any questions.
I got nothing.
I know everything there is to know
got
about
one?
this man. I'm kidding. I don't.
Okay.
You what?
No,
you
we're
want,
good.
You want me to ask him a question?
Keep
okay.
going,
okay.
please.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, far away.
I'll ask him a question. What's your favorite ham sandwich?
Oh, well, I don't know if
You
you
see what I
thought
did
that
there?
I would just ask, what, vegan ham sandwich? Because
Any
of that?
ham sandwich. Give me a ham sandwich that you like.
Well, okay. 7th grade or 8th grade, I can't remember. But in French class, we had French food Fridays. You probably don't think I was going to have this long of a story
I had
about my
no
favorite ham
idea.
sandwich.
Like French food Fridays would have been French fries for us.
Every Friday, it was a student's job to bring in a French food. And we had a French kid in the class. I can't remember his name for the life of me right now.
Every Friday?
I believe his
Every
name.
Friday.
That must have stretched pretty thin by the end then.
Yeah, because how many
It was
French
good.
kids
It's
do you
like-
honestly have in class?
No. It wasn't just the French kid's responsibility. That would have been like slave indentured servitude. We can't just make the one French kid bring in food every
I
Friday.
mean, you could.
I
What
suppose.
the hell else did Jacques have to do? I'm
So-
naming him Jacques.
His mother brought in croque monsieur, which is basically a grilled cheese with ham in it. So it's really just the grilled cheese bread, the buttered grilled,
Lazy fucks.
You, sir, can have my entire inheritance.
You still got a
just
grilled
for that
cheese and
story.
ham sandwich. What do you?
But it's lazy. They just renamed a sandwich.
Huh? No, I think it was really good though. I think you'd have one and you'd
Was it like on French bread with French ham and French cheese?
I imagine that it was probably all American ingredients because I don't think they
It would
imported
have been
them.
it would have been a hell of a job to get all that stuff over here.
Delicious though.
So we start off this episode with the
Our
early
pants off.
only Sean.
Oh.
What's your biggest regret of being an early adopter? Console, video game, telephone. Do they call them telephones anymore? Cellular devices, computers,
Talky listeny things.
small cats that you may have purchased and are regretting it. Where you guys start?
HD DVD player.
You bought? Oh, you bought one?
Oh my god!
Yeah, I worked at Circuit City in 2008, and they had come out like a year or two before that. So they were still like $400 a piece. Well, Sean, with his awesome discount of like 6%, went ahead and bought one. And then I bought a 2-pack. It came with Knocked Up and one other movie.
Wow.
And all I did was watch Knocked Up on it. And then Blu-ray came out, and I pitched that and bought a Blu-ray player.
Well, yeah, Blu-ray just took
Yeah.
HD out.
Yeah,
it was just a big marketing.
Well, as soon as
campaign.
Disney went exclusively with Blu-ray.
No, I'll tell
Actually, it
you.
was
I'll tell
porn.
you. I'll tell you right now.
That was Betamax to VHS.
what made the decision in that war was actually the PlayStation 3.
Was it really?
Yeah, because they were.
Built-in Blu-ray.
Yeah,
Yeah,
built
because the
in
Xbox,
Blu-ray.
you had to buy a separate device.
Oh, that's right. Xbox had the HD.
Yeah, and you
You
plugged
could
it
get
in the
these
back, and it
separately.
was this whole like stupid dongle.
Yeah.
They didn't. The original Xbox 360 didn't have an HDMI port either.
Yeah.
Because my
Right.
brother then had subsequently purchased a later model that had it.
Yep.
And I had to like convince him to trade with me because I needed the HDMI port for some reason because I'm also not too clear on the technological
You're not
situation.
a scientist.
I'm not a.
I
Yeah,
understand that.
no lab coats over here.
I still like you.
But
But you still have a MacBook.
I do. I think that's just what people who are vain get when they need a computer.
You son of a bitch.
I just thought that's what Americans did.
Yeah.
As we look
Yeah,
around this table,
This table's just loaded.
I'm the only one with racing stripes, though.
A lot
I
of
gotta say,
narcissism.
Yeah.
racing stripes on my MacBook.
That's pretty.
Don't be jealous.
Pretty gaudy.
Well, that is you son of a bitch.
Fotshire.
You are the Michael Jordan of being a son of a bitch. Sean, that one was really good. That HD.
Fotshire?
What?
Yeah, because
I think
it went straight down the tubes.
Yeah, it was out for like a year.
Yeah, and they were showing like I remember at Circuit City. Does that date me? Circuit City had this whole like split screen HD versus Blu-ray,
talk
and I was
about
like,
that all the time.
I can see like 2 pixels difference. It was ridiculous.
They ramped it up. They did the highest definition possible on the Blu-ray, and then the low like potato quality on the standard. So it looked like it was.
He always calls it potato quality.
So it looks like stick figures.
He hates the Irish.
In stop motion, like firing rocks, and then it comes over to Russell Crowe and Robin Hood,
Right.
and like top quality picture.
Almost like the screen on the left-hand side was like the garbage you
Yep.
didn't want to see, and
So
the
is
right-hand side had all the action.
Was this a conspiracy then? Is that what you're
Well, no, it
claiming?
was just a way to drive HD sales.
Sounds like a conspiracy. No,
And
to
a
drive
lot-
Blu-ray sales, I thought is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah, Blu-ray.
That's what it is. It's snowing outside. Happy snow day.
Nice. One other thing people didn't realize too was you couldn't just buy the player and then have that quality.
No.
You had to buy the player and the TV. And then you had to buy the cords with it. So buying the $200 Blu-ray player might have been sweet, but you had to buy the $80 cord and the $1,000 television.
Yeah, because it didn't pump that resolution out flat out. And plus, those players, they were so goddamn expensive when they came out. That was ridiculous.
Does anybody remember when DVD players came out?
Yeah, they were like $400.
I did. I bought a DVD player when they were pretty freshly out, and it
With
was
your
it was
allowance?
expensive.
How the hell did you afford a DVD player
We
back
returned
then?
pop cans.
I had
that
a
we collected
job
from the neighbors.
Man, I've been working my whole life.
Damn, dude. Slave story by Josh.
delivering
My
papers. and-
well, when we get to mine, like my worst, I also did a best of.
Let's do it. Let's hear it. Bring it
Okay,
on.
All right. Well, my worst was the Nintendo Wii.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Such high
dare you.
hopes.
Because I'm sorry, but I got it at launch, and I bought it, and I played Zelda, I played Twilight Princess, and from that point on, it just pretty much collected dust.
Is it because Apple didn't make it?
No,
Okay,
I love Nintendo. You know this.
Unbelievable.
I do.
I liked Wii Bowling.
Played a little bit of the bowling.
I
believe Sean wants to fist you.
Played some of the tennis.
That's fist bump.
It was moist.
I would have bought that system just for Wii bowling.
It was so cool.
Would have been a bad investment. But
Do you remember the cheat? Remember, the game you played where like the pins got exponentially more?
Yeah, that was a lot
Then you
of
had
fun.
like the 100 pins one. Do
Yeah.
you remember the cheat for that?
No.
Where if you rifled it down the gutter in the very beginning, the ball went all the way down, but then the screen shook and all the pins fell over.
What?
Yeah.
Like if you threw it hard enough?
Yeah.
What a bunch of check your
Yeah.
shit. What was your best one? What's a good one?
My best was actually also a game console. It was I bought the first Sony PlayStation at launch.
Hell yeah, dude.
I took a risk doing that.
The
though,
thing was crisp though.
because I ended up loving it, but I bought my first game console with my own money because I worked at lovely McDonald's in high school. So
Was that the
Lovely
first like
McDonald's.
disc-based system?
Yeah.
no
3DO.
3DO. Well, technically, if you want to get technical, there was a Sega CD.
Oh yeah.
I just remember going to Meyer and seeing a 3DO system. They had the controller and you got to play. And it was some guy running around a cube. In fact, wasn't it called Cube or something? You had to like run around this. It was like the first three-dimensional thing.
You're not far off. It was something like that.
Yeah.
Intelligent cube.
IntelliCube or something.
Intelligent cube.
Intelligent, like Smarty cubes.
Smarty pubes. Pubes.
Pubes. No,
You're
very
done.
good. The Wii was real. The Wii was very disappointing, by the way. I didn't get one at launch, but I got one much later on at a yard sale. Pretty much, it wasn't very good.
You all right over there?
Jacob, fire away.
Okay. So I was, first of all, I had to ask Sean what an early adopter was, because
Yeah.
I thought that was like,
Like when I adopted you.
something.
Yeah, no, it was
something
not.
like kind of legalese like that.
It's okay. We have friends that had to ask what a podcast was.
Okay, so I'm like a few steps ahead of that. Very low.
My mom
bar.
calls selfies self-I, if that helps.
Isn't that the plural? Like
I
if you,
don't-
if you like
Selfie.
took a whole photo
Yeah.
shoot of selfies, it would be
Probably.
very self-I at that
Probably
point.
self-I.
I like it.
So I don't know. Because I kind of consider myself. I was running this through my head last night to make sure it sounded all right. But I kind of not. I'm not a luddite, but I'm a little techno skeptical sometimes.
Fair enough.
I can
So
understand that.
I rarely get myself into a situation where I've gone out and purchased something on a whim or just a flurry of excitement just to try out the new thing. Because
But you are a man, as far as what I know of you. You are a man. There was more there, Josh. You are a man who I see as kind of a tip of the spear type of guy. I see you as cutting edge.
Well,
Are you displaying to me something that's untrue?
no.
Maybe
I
like
mean,
bottom of the spear.
Like handle of the spear?
Yeah.
He's probably a little bit more how I am now. He probably likes to do his research first.
no, I wouldn't even say that. That's like doing me.
It's giving him too much credit.
A credit that I don't deserve. I think I just like to wait and hear. Because first of all, I'm satisfied with like the leaps in technology are getting so the increments are so small now that I'm fine with the third generation. By the time the sixth generation comes out, it just
Right.
doesn't seem necessary to continually jump or even change paths to a new
The new thing.
whatever the new thing might be. But the time that I took the biggest leap in technology, which is the most relatable I can make this this conversation, this story is the most relatable thing to this conversation. I was 2010, 21 years old, and still had the Motorola Razr.
That phone was sweet.
2010.
Fucking love that phone.
I was 8 years old then.
I
Mentally,
saw a
I'm
guy. I
sorry.
saw a guy last year actually who still had a razor, and it was actually at a concert, and he was still like front row, like taking pictures with the razor
Probably
still. And I'm like,
15-second videos at a time.
yeah,
right?
exactly. I'm
Memory-
looking
memory
at that
card's
phone.
full.
just-
Yeah.
You have to like beg the phone companies to still let you use that phone.
Right. Yeah, because they just stopped
Yeah.
allowing you to
It
use
was
those
great.
things.
The simplicity of that really was comforting, in a way that probably like candles and horse-drawn carriages are comforting to Amish people.
Wow, what a comparison. I love it.
Metaphor,
Metaphorically speaking.
But
Meta 4, Meta 5, whatever.
then I got the iPhone 4, which was
Like when it came out?
yeah, pretty much.
Did you stand in line?
I didn't stand in line,
Oh, good. I'm
but
glad
it
you're
was
not a
probably like a
bitch.
month afterward. And when it was because there was all that commotion about the the antennas, and if you covered it with your hand.
Yeah, well,
when
if you hold it like this, it doesn't make receptions.
But that's a huge leap to go from the flip phone Razr to the iPhone 4.
That was monumental.
Yeah.
That was like
So you're in touchscreen territory, son.
shook my world to have internet on in my pocket wherever I went. Because
it was slow as hell, kind of in a way, compared to the phones now.
well, it was
now, yeah.
It was
You know,
it was
it's
just
like-
huge.
It's like using the old calculator and then using the calculator on your phone now. So slow.
Raise your hand if you remember this statement. You'll never have a calculator handy. Which was basically like every math teacher in school ever.
Oh, yep. Those buggers.
Yeah, and yet I had a watch with a fucking calculator on it. Don't tell me what to do.
Wow, talk about some
There
archaic
were,
technology.
there were watches, yeah.
Yeah, you weren't allowed to wear those.
You had to have the fingers the size of a mouse's penis to type those keys.
I was
down.
7. What the fuck? Of course I had.
He had a lot of mice penis.
I think you
when
had
he
to
was
like
7.
grow out a specially trimmed fingernail just to press those buttons.
Maybe that's why Josh's
I'm
finger's
Arabic.
all weird.
Okay. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Did you used to do
Why?
this with your weird finger?
No, sir. No.
Are you suggesting he's got carpal tunnel because of
No,
a
it's-
calculator
no,
watch?
that is-
Casio
Yeah,
wristwatch.
that would be why, the calculator.
We need to
And
see
that
your
would be why it
brother's-
was just the finger there, that one finger.
We need to see your brother's hand to see if this is genetic.
Okay, this is getting weird.
You haven't sent us a picture?
No.
But
So-
so,
Matt
to bring it
Basin,
back,
send us
then,
a picture of your finger.
if I may.
Talesfromthevoid@gmail.com.
Go ahead.
Well, that
Sorry,
was just,
Jacob, go
that
ahead.
was just because we got a little. I don't know. Was it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Anywho, I thought that was the biggest leap in technology I had taken, and then I joked when people asked me, "Well, how are you liking it?" I said, "Well, the Razr, the most technologically advanced feature on that Razr was the alarm clock." So this is
Yeah, it was
it was quite a
seriously
bit better.
And you got to like on the iPhone, you had apps where you could do different things. It was just a completely different animal.
Oh, it was night and day.
Night and day. That's a good one, man. And it never let you down. Like it didn't let you down. The Switch didn't let you down.
No, not at all. I got the iPhone 5 now. I'll probably be getting the iPhone 6 whenever Verizon will allow me to purchase
Don't get
one
that
for
piece of shit.
not a boatload
Sorry,
of
guys.
cash.
These guys
It's a
are
lovely.
Yeah,
piece.
yeah. They bend in your pocket.
They do not.
Yeah, they.
Well, the
they have this
buttons
thigh
on
feature.
the side now and the rounded edges, so it's
So it's a Samsung.
it's better.
Yeah.
You know? Screen's bigger.
Yeah. Well, mine is more recent. It's I ran out and bought a PlayStation 4 immediately. And I had this big duel with everybody. PlayStation, Xbox sucks balls, which it
You're
did.
not claiming to regret this now, are
He
you?
is.
Yeah, I am.
Are you really?
He is.
I can make mistakes and own up to mistakes, of course.
It wasn't a mistake. You
It
got
was
plenty
a
of entertainment
Let me tell
out
you
of it.
something.
He just doesn't want to take the time to know it.
Here's the entertainment I got. The entertainment I got, the entertainment value I got out of it is playing with my friends. Now, when all
Yes.
my friends abandoned the PlayStation in a way, one could only call it an exodus. Jacob, you know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
Oi.
What? Too soon?
Old Testament
Thousands of years too soon?
Yeah, seriously, get over it, guys.
No, I mean, everyone switched over. Everyone had both consoles. I could only afford one, and I got the PlayStation 4. And I regretted that decision when the controller started falling apart when I'm playing FIFA, which is my favorite game. So I'm playing a game that I really
my favorite
love.
game.
Are you serious? I want to hold you in my arms tonight. The thumbsticks just came apart. The rubber just came off the thumbsticks. How do you pay $400 for something that falls apart in your hands?
You are special because you're the only one I know that had that problem, though.
Incorrect. Everyone who I played FIFA with had the same issue,
Okay, then it's a FIFA problem.
and I only played with one other person. So the point here is, it's okay to be hardcore about something, but you should be a little more open-minded and accepting. So now I have an Xbox One. The controller is a thing of beauty. I play FIFA on that thing. I have no concerns of the rubber coming off. The menu system's bullshit. But
It's getting better.
I'm glad that I made the switch for many reasons, but mainly I don't have to worry about this goddamn thing falling apart that I paid $400 for. That's really the big deal.
That's good. I always thought the Xbox controller was more ergonomic than the PlayStation controller was designed by a person who didn't have hands.
Like a tiny man.
A tiny handless man.
It's
The original Xbox controller was designed by like Andre the Giant.
That's true. That thing
Because that thing was
Yeah.
that thing was
massive.
hideous.
Yeah.
Grief.
You were like this. Like with the yeah.
Mike's holding up his Mac.
I am holding up my Mac
and pretending it's a controller.
How do you think this hand dealt with that controller?
Unbelievably.
Is this that weird? That's what happened. That's what it is.
Well, the ring finger rarely comes into play.
Not with this guy.
Does it come into? You use that for anything besides just grip on the? There's no buttons.
He tickles you. He comes at you. He's like a strong hand, and he tries to tickle your ribs.
Is it my ring finger that was weird? I thought it was my pinky.
Ring finger?
Yeah. It was,
Georgia confirms it was your ring finger.
The pinky is the one all the way on the end. The ring finger is the one just next to that.
I just want to say that we
Thank you,
just had
Jacob.
dinner, and Georgia vomited immediately when she saw Josh raise his hand. So
she just does that at the end of every meal.
I tell you what, mine's at 9:30. I'm glad you do yours so early.
We better get this going then.
We're gonna do something unprecedented here on Tales from the Void. We are gonna call a friend of ours to join in on this conversation. I did tell him around 8. So.
Well, it's 8:20. It is 8:16.
We'll have to call him back.
Hi, is this Mr. Christopher Johnston?
Hang on a second.
Hang on a second. Then he can come back. Hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Is this Mr. Christopher Johnston?
Yes, this is Christopher Johnston.
Now, this is the Christopher Johnston of One-Up Cup fame, is it not?
Fame? I don't know if I would necessarily call it fame, but One-Up Cup notoriety, at least.
Oh, well, yeah, we got your notoriety right here in my pants. I'm kidding. We are recording right now, Chris. I wanted to get some of your reaction here to a topic. Chris, what we're talking about is early adopting a system, a piece of technology that you either regret or you're totally fucking glad you did. Do you have something in that arena?
Yeah, I definitely do. I was probably one of the first people of my friends that really had a smartphone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I moved very quickly from using the old school flip phones. In fact, I had do you remember the LG Voyager?
Yep.
I don't.
I had an LG Voyager. I had the titanium edition.
Oh, you spent some good money, Chris.
Oh yeah. It was like talk of the town. We'll call it the LG talk of the town from here on out.
It was touchscreen.
What I ended up doing was I was working for Verizon Wireless at the time, and a bunch of my friends worked there as well. And the deal was, like, way back in that day, Verizon Wireless employees got, like, super sweet deals. Like, you were allowed to upgrade your phone once every, like, 10 months. And then, like, you could just keep the phone that you had and do whatever you wanted with it. So a lot of people traded phones. So somebody had given me a BlackBerry. And they were just like, here you go. Here's this BlackBerry. Sell your Voyager, and then just give me the money that you get from your Voyager as payment for the BlackBerry. I was like, done deal.
Wow.
Yeah. So I ended up getting a BlackBerry, and I was like I said, I was one of the first people out of my friends to get a smartphone. And from that point on, I was kind of like, I can't ever go back to seeing to using anything else. But what's funny is, for as early as I got a smartphone, my cohort, Tom, just got his first smartphone like 6 months ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's 27 years old, and he just got his first iPhone.
I don't know why that's so shocking to me. It's really, it's crazy.
What did he...
Well, I think the interesting thing about, you said you don't know why it's so shocking to you is because I'm going to ask you a question. Think about this. When is the last time you legitimately saw somebody using a dumb phone?
My mom. I'm kidding. She just uses it really poorly. That's all. She just misuses a smartphone. But yeah, you don't see it very often.
May of last year.
You definitely don't. And I think it's one of those things where just the impact on culture and the impact on society has been so vast and so huge. And one of my favorite comedians, Louis C.K., he has this bit in one of his specials. I think it's hilarious, where he's talking about, folks that are ungrateful and folks that just they don't get it. They don't get the amazingness that's around them.
Right.
They don't understand the sheer things, and especially as Americans. And he says something it's obviously meant to be like an embellishment and a joke, but it's so true, and that is that this thing in your pocket, you can pull out this thing in your pocket and call in a fucking airstrike on yourself.
You can.
And that's legitimately like I think it's hard to not like sit there and not think to yourself, like, what was I doing with my life before I had a smartphone? Like,
Mortal
what
Kombat.
was I doing?
Mortal Kombat, and
see, I still play Mortal Kombat even though I have a smartphone. I will never stop.
Never
playing
stop.
Mortal Kombat.
We're with you on that with the brotherhood there.
The real answer is that we were actually paying attention to each other back then. That's what we were doing.
Right?
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
what?
and that's definitely something that I think there's been a surplus in kind of like noticing. There's this whole like, I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but like there's this whole like brigade that's on Facebook that people always talk about, like saw two people on a date on their smartphone, went up to them and said, "Why don't you pay attention to each other?"
So
It's not
dumb.
smarmy like that.
Don't come up to me like that. I'll kill you.
Mind your own business.
Yeah, but one of the people that actually did say something, and this absolutely blew my mind. So, Nerdist podcast had Paul McCartney on, which number one, holy shit! Like you got Paul McCartney to guest on your show,
Right.
But he said like Chris Hardwick said to him, he said, you know, how do you feel about having the, you know, not sure whether to call it like luxury or misfortune of having the way that technology and culture is now, having somebody be able to locate you pretty much anytime and anywhere. And he said something so, I think, like, only Paul McCartney could have said this. Like, only Paul McCartney. He said, I'll go out to a restaurant every once in a while, and I will see, you know, two people on their phones, and, you know, my wife and I will joke back to each other, like, I wonder if they're texting each other what they think about the menu. Like, oh, the pasta is good, or I'll take the chicken. But he said, I just want to go up to the man and say, what are you doing, man? Put down your phone. Don't you see this person across the table from you? She's absolutely beautiful, and there is nothing as amazing in that phone as what's sitting across the table from you right now.
That's because
only Paul McCartney could say that.
Well, yeah, because he's a sexual deviant. So, I mean, of course he's going to hit on someone else's lady, you know?
Bet John Lennon could have said that, too.
Jacob said John Lennon could have said that better. No, I put words in his mouth.
No, John Lennon would have thrown the imagine word in there every so often and probably talked about Yoko.
Right. You're sitting across from the most beautiful... Imagine. Just fucking imagine, man. You know? That was terrible.
That's a damn good John Lennon.
No, you're just over the phone and I've got you muffled. That's why it sounds good. No, that's awesome, man. So the switch to the smartphone, that was a good jump. Do you have any like wickedly bad decisions?
Oh, excuse me. Wickedly bad decisions as far as adopting early technology.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a yes, and I'm going to say the N-Gage, the Nokia N-Gage.
That's a good one.
Remember that?
Yep, that's a good one.
Unfortunately.
There's not even a word to describe what my 16-year-old self thought about the N-Gage. Number one, I didn't even have a cell phone plan, but I saved up a bunch of money for my part-time job.
Just to get a phone? Just to get a phone?
Just to get a phone that would play games. I didn't even have a cell phone plan. I just wanted the phone to play games.
Oh yeah, that was the one that had that had the little card chips or whatever that you could download games to.
Yeah.
Like a Game Boy, like a Nintendo Game Boy.
Yeah. Title was Tomb Raider, and I was like, oh my god, like what is this world coming to? Like I'm sitting there, 16 years old, thinking to myself, I have this thing in my hands, and I'm thinking to myself, this is the future.
And it kind of was almost. I mean, in a way, it kind of paved the way for devices with apps on them or games on them that were like multi-use, right? Because there wasn't really anything before that did those kinds of things that well.
You know, there wasn't, and there always has to be a starting point. You know, I compare the N-Gage to the telephones and the cell phones that we have now in the same light that I compare the Dreamcast to console to have, rendered 3D graphics.
Where would you put the Virtual Boy in that list?
Virtual Boy?
Pretty low.
Right next to the Power Glove.
And yet somehow the Power Glove was just that thing everybody wanted.
That's a special list all its
Everybody
own.
needed the Power Glove. And what's funny is, like, you try to find one today, and they're almost impossible to find.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
whoever held on to those things, good on you.
Good on you. They're worth millions of dollars now. Well, cool, man. We have moving into a different realm of discussion as well. Do you, off the top of your head, we've been talking about going into this topic as well. Can you name a documentary that you've seen recently? It doesn't necessarily have to do with
he's
that.
He's going to steal mine, probably.
Did you hear Josh?
Yeah, what do you say?
I said you're probably going to steal mine.
I am totally going to steal yours, but you know what? I was thinking about stealing yours, but I'm not going to because I want to hear how you describe it on this episode of the podcast. When I hang up and when I download it this week, I want to hear the passion in your voice because I watched quite a few documentaries recently. So I will tell you the one that I watched that was absolutely outstanding, and that was Bert's Buzz.
Oh yeah. Bert's Buzz. Sean and I recently watched that one together, holding each other.
Naked.
He'll say naked, but we were wearing clothes. We were naked under our clothes, if that counts.
No, we were naked.
It counts. It counts, especially if you were undressing each other with your eyes.
Sometimes.
And hands.
So what did you find so fascinating about Bert's Buzz?
Bert's Buzz was super interesting in a respect of here's a guy that is arguably the face of one of the biggest cosmetic companies in the world. And he just doesn't give a shit. Like, he does not care. And what I found so interesting about it wasn't necessarily about, like, obviously it's a documentary about him. And, on the side it's a documentary about the history of Burt's Bees. And obviously, there's the very obvious tones to that movie. Like, there's the very obvious things about this man that really, come through. And, he was a hippie, and he was very eccentric, and he was artistic, and he just wanted to live off the land, and that was great, and that's awesome. But the one thing that really stuck out to me and kind of like punched me in the chest about the documentary was, so this guy really doesn't care about his company. This guy really doesn't care about, his product or his image or anything like that.
The money either, right?
Yeah, he doesn't care about the money. What he cares most about, and he never outrightly comes out and says this, but you can just tell by the way that he talks about this, is his former partner who he was in love with, taking the company, selling her half, and basically exiling him from everything that had to do with the company.
And then did you see her snarky damn face when they were like, oh, what would you say to entrepreneurs? And she's like, you could just believe in yourself. When she just jacked someone's shit.
Oh, totally. But what's crazy about it is, like, he didn't care about the money. You could just totally tell that he was so betrayed and hurt by this one person. And that ultimately, that feeling, that relationship, that emotion was more important to him than anything that was in his bank account. And that, to me, was, like, the big, like, message of that story was that, it doesn't matter how much money you make. It doesn't matter what you bring in. It doesn't matter what you create. If you don't have the people that you want around you to share it with, nothing matters.
You're right. You're absolutely right. And that's the biggest. That's the thing that holds the biggest value, I think, are the people and the relationships you build. Money comes and goes, man. You get a bunch of money, you buy a Maserati, you crash it into a wall, it's fucked. You rob a bank, you get shot up. Money's bullshit. It's the personal relationships you build with people. You'll get offers throughout your life. And actually, I was watching a show called Marin that Jacob, our special guest, he's special because he's handicapped. But no, our special guest Jacob. Sorry, buddy.
Hey.
Hey. He turned me on to Marin, this comedian, and he said, it's easy to keep your integrity when nobody wants to buy you out. And that's one of those really interesting things about Bert's Buzz is that's something you see right there. It's like he wasn't even interested in selling his company or having a corporate structure. He just was making some quality thing and enjoying his life with this other person.
Yeah, and then when that was all gone, and when that was taken away from him, it was just like you can kind of see he's like on autopilot. You know what I mean? Like he's really just
checked out almost.
Yeah, like he's got his shack and he's got his wood stove heater, and he's just kind of like he's on autopilot. Like he just doesn't care, and that was really the most fascinating thing to me about that, because you look at something in comparison, another documentary about somebody that has a thing that they produce for the public, and that's Jiro Dreams of Sushi. You look at that in comparison, it's like, here's this guy Bert that doesn't give a flying fuck about the stuff that he's producing or the face that he has on these tins of lip balm and all that different shit. But you have Jiro Dreams of Sushi, who this guy is absolutely obsessed with his own product and is just really eccentric about it. So it's just interesting to see the contrast and those kind of things and how they are as people and what's really important to them individually.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Good pick, dude. Thanks a lot, man. That's anybody else here have any questions for Chris?
I don't think so.
Wow, it got quiet in this fucking room, dude. I'll tell you that. You put everyone to shame just now. That's what happened.
I have all the answers.
Yes. No one wants to ask you the meaning of life because they're going to be severely fucking disappointed. That's really what the key is here.
The meaning of life is to level to 32 and be screwed up.
Oh my God! See, no one wants to hear that shit that you have to grind and get to 32.
We had to get that on our show.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, thanks for joining us, and we'll join up soon. We'll talk to you soon, buddy. Thanks for hopping on.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, gentlemen, and I'll see you clowns on Destiny this week.
Yes, sir.
Love you.
We love your face, Chris. Thank you.
Love you. We'll see you later.
Later, friend. That was Chris Johnston, ladies and gentlemen. He wasn't in studio. I know the sounds made it sound like he was directly sitting across from us. He's in Pittsburgh. He was far away.
And for those that don't know, when we plug the One-Up Cup, that is where that gentleman comes from.
He doesn't come from the One-Up Cup, but
well,
I'm just kidding, Josh. That's fine.
He comes in the One-Up Cup.
Oh my God! I don't think you can legally say that.
He would actually probably appreciate that.
And Josh made the sound of it too, like oddly enough, right?
Can I get that explained to me?
No.
Okay.
Yes,
Like
I'll
he
show
pulls
you.
out his schwitz.
Don't you
and
have-
he just splooshes in the cup?
You went from Jewish to
did you
German within moments.
One-Up Cup.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. You just want the One-Up Cup?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
fine.
I mean, is that like 2 girls, 1 cup?
No, actually,
But
it's
with
really
a big erection.
Does this involve feces?
It's close. It's just a bunch of dudes with a cup.
I mean,
No,
it could.
They are a video game and pop culture podcast, and they podcast out of Pittsburgh. They've helped us out a lot. They're cool peeps.
All right. Well, I didn't mean to insinuate they had anything to do with feces.
You're
then.
just a jerk.
No, it's fine.
Speaking of which, a special guest, what is your favorite documentary or something you've seen recently that you'd like us all to check out?
Well, I was also going to mention the Jiro Dreams of Sushi documentary.
It's good.
Because I watched it because I saw that it had a 99% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not always accurate, but I thought 99%. That's a pretty raving
That's
review.
pretty high.
I trust them normally, and a 99% is worth at least looking into.
I agree.
And it was a very interesting, insightful look into this man's life and how unique his life path, his life trajectory was. It was unlike I think most lives that we experience in day-to-day existence.
Yeah, something was extraordinary about what he did, and it wasn't what he was doing. It was that even the care he would take to wringing a towel. I mean, it had to be a certain position for you to wring it out correctly, and things were in their place, right?
Yeah, he was very meticulous, and not only that level of fastidiousness, because I think I exhibit that just out of the Jewish neuroses that we talk about.
Yeah.
That kind of
You're born with it, bro.
Crazy obsessive compulsive
Yeah.
shit. But it was about the honor and the integrity that led his that guided his life. That was his reason for being, and also his backstory. His childhood, obviously very tragic childhood. He was a
Tragic.
orphan very young and was on his own. And fortunately, I just wandered into a sushi restaurant and then,
well, it's crazy that
fortuitous.
That culture has these really neat boxes they put people in. Well, neat as in people fit in these little things, and you're supposed to excel in the class that you've been given. So if he's a worker or a restaurateur, he has to strive to be the best, and he has. He has done that.
He's taken that for everything it's worth, and he's executed, phenomenally. But so I didn't know if we were gonna go into it in that much detail, or if more detail. But then I was gonna also throw out the Searching for Sugar Man documentary, which I'm sure somebody else.
Love it.
No. Is
when
that yours?
When I brought up the guy that was taking pictures with the Motorola Razr, I was at a Rodriguez concert.
No way.
Yeah.
In South Africa? Or
no,
here?
No, he played at the Masonic Temple.
Really?
Yeah.
Recently then.
Are we talking Rodriguez and Gabriela?
No.
What Rodriguez are we talking about?
The Rodriguez.
This is the only Rodriguez I know. Is he hangs out with this girl Gabriela?
You've not seen this documentary.
Flamenco
I know.
guitar.
They play incredible guitar, but this guy from Detroit, which is also
goddamn MacBook.
Right, hits home. Yeah, I guess we were told to silence our cell phones.
It wasn't my cell phone. My computer just dinged.
Well, no, I know.
It was like dinner's ready.
Mike's
Fire
exempt
away.
from the rules.
Because if I didn't pick the one that I just watched recently, that was going to be my pick.
That was gonna be. I guess that was my backup too.
What's it about? Tell me.
Well, okay, so this kind of unsung folk hero from Detroit, industrial laborer, contractor, wrote these Bob Dylan-esque songs, these incredibly beautiful, poignant, passionate songs that were poetic and also put to really, lovely
tunes,
melody, and instrumentation. Mm-hmm. And he gets 2 album deals in the United States. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe it was only 2. Yeah,
2.
I think there was like a kind of like a third in the works. If I
then they
recall.
dropped him, right?
Yes.
So he just sort of dissolved back into his daily
obscurity.
Yeah,
or what?
yeah. His
He
tedium,
loved
but
construction work. He loved construction work.
yeah,
Really?
it was like, and
Yeah.
he also ran for local office.
Yeah,
something like that. But all the while that his career is not taking off in Detroit at all.
That's
like
crazy.
No recognition at all. I mean, he got these 2 record deals that didn't sell worth a damn, and the whole while that he's struggling in Detroit
And living in obscurity up here.
Yeah, in South Africa, these records are catching wildfire.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I believe
Wow.
they said that he sold more albums than Elvis in South Africa.
Shut the fuck
So
up.
there was this incredible cult phenomenon happening down there there was just no way to bridge this geographical gap between
Unbelievable.
South Africa and Detroit. And people in South Africa, I think, besides the fact that his music is really, really phenomenal and speaks to you the same way when you hear a Bob Dylan song, it like cuts deep into you.
Sure.
The same way his songs resonated, but there was also this mysteriousness, this who is this guy? Where is he come from? How did these albums? I mean, they like got brought over on a plane, I think they said, by a tourist, and it just I don't know. They got like mass produced there. And
How long ago was this?
This was in the 70s, early 70s. I
So
think.
just at the perfect time, it could have changed him. Could have changed. I mean, where is he now?
Well,
Detroit.
yeah, he's still in Detroit.
He's still
He
here?
still lives in Detroit.
No shit.
And they made this documentary. The guys, I think it was South African guys, made the documentary searching.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
that's why it's called Searching for Sugar Man, is because
one of his famous songs is "Sugar Man" is in the title, right?
Yeah.
So they go out with the purpose to find him and track him down.
there's all sorts of crazy rumors about how he may have died or committed suicide.
Yeah, committed suicide on stage was one
Yeah.
of them that was really extravagant.
So
Is he still out there performing right now?
Well, he does. I don't think he performed. He did like several concerts.
just saw him.
You just saw. He just saw him.
You did?
Yeah.
When the fuck did you see this?
Like October?
Am I talking? Is this thing on? Last May. The guy with the flip phone, Motorola Razr. That was the concert that I was at. It was Rodriguez.
He's too busy taking
Oh,
notes.
his name is Rodriguez.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Sugar Man, if you will. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I think-
So every now and then he will. He's in like younger to mid 70s right now, and he's completely blind now.
Is he? I didn't know that.
come on.
He is completely blind now.
That's not going to stop him from playing an acoustic
on.
guitar and singing
But he's
songs
still,
he wrote 50 years
I
ago. or
can't. I
something.
can't. I need to look at my guitar when I'm playing it. Like if I lose my sight, fuck a guitar. I'm not even gonna be able to play anymore.
That's
But
what he
hey,
wants to do, man.
did he ever fly over?
Oh yeah, that's in the documentary.
Yeah, I did a big
Yep.
concert tour down there. They loved it. He made a bunch of money, and then I guess they said he gave most of it away because just that. I think if he really genuinely cared about the celebrity aspect of it, it probably would have happened for him because he would have.
He'd have been milking that cow right now.
Yeah, he would have done more to in his youth, in his heyday, to get to that point if that was what it was about for him. But it was just about writing songs and writing the lyrics and playing the guitar and performing and. You know, it was
sometimes it's not about money. Sometimes it's about the love of the thing.
Exactly like you just said.
That's just a cool. That's
he
sweet,
was
man.
even after he finally got money and he was even actually able to do shows and tour and stuff. He still lived in the house that he grew up in Detroit.
Wow,
Very, very humble and meek man.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's a good.
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
It's a good story.
That's gonna go into the queue.
That's one of those that you couldn't have written it.
If you can't find it, I also have that on Blu-ray.
Oh, that's great. Josh, by the way, brought in. Is that how you say that? Is that proper English?
Broughton. He
had brought in. He brought in Lost, an entire series on Blu-ray. I love your face. Did you get the copy of True Detective back?
I did get it back. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a good series
I
right
love
there.
your face. It's fantastic.
Speaking of, Sean, enlighten us with your wisdom.
The one that I really decided I liked was a documentary called I Know That Voice, and it's about voice actors.
Wow.
They most notably follow Billy West and John DiMaggio, both of Futurama fame, but...
Oh, no way.
Yeah, one I didn't know was John DiMaggio did Jake from Adventure Time and Marcus from Gears of War.
What?
And earlier
Nice.
I told Mike and Jacob about this trick where you put a pencil or a pen in between your lips when you pop your peas, and it keeps the air from shooting right into the microphone.
So I don't even need this thing?
No.
No, you need that thing.
Yeah.
It's protecting us from your spray.
John DiMaggio was actually showing us how it worked, and it was professional mic. It had the pop filter, and because Marcus in Gears of War is so animated and loud...
Yeah, he's hardcore in that.
Yeah, the pea pop still went through. So he did the pencil thing, and it sounded amazing.
That's cool. It's
Even
a
though
cool
he
little
was
trick,
screaming
man.
directly into the microphone.
Those are some powerful peas.
I think in industry as like crazy as voiceover work.
Yeah.
I mean, you're constantly in front of a microphone. You learn these little tricks that help you along the way. I mean, just like any other career or whatever. That's pretty neat, man.
Can I jump in and ask a question real quick?
No.
He meant no means yes to Sean.
Does it cover any video game voice actors?
John DiMaggio.
Gears, yeah. Gears of War. I mean, any others that
they
are
talk
known
about,
in the video game industry?
What the hell's that guy's name? Nolan North?
Nolan North, yeah.
Yeah, the guy who did Drake.
Does Drake, yep.
They actually do an extensive thing about... who the hell did Batman? Tim Conroy.
Cool.
Yeah, they talk about him. What was cool is what makes this different is that in Hollywood, an actor wouldn't give another actor a spot on a movie. So if Tom Cruise couldn't play a part, he wouldn't go, oh, hey, Harrison Ford might do this better. They would just be like, no, let me try it again. In voice acting, they would be like, well, I can't do this. John DiMaggio might go, I can't do this, but maybe Billy West can. So here's his number.
Oh,
so
that's
there's
cool.
Kind of there's like a little friend circle to it.
Like a brotherhood of voiceover.
It's also
actors.
interesting for them to know their threshold, know where their wheelhouse, and
Yeah, that's true too. Because
admit
you
to
never think of it
themselves-
like that.
No, I think you'd think that most people
Just get hired. And
maybe
you
the
just
fact
do
that there's no
job.
face to it,
Yeah.
it reduces the level of ego.
And apparently the one
to
big
a
secret
point,
in voice acting is everything is just a lazy impression.
No shit.
Hank Azaria, who is wildly famous for The Simpsons, had said that Lou the Cop is just a lazy Sylvester Stallone.
Oh my God!
Hank
hear it now.
Azaria is the cop, and
Oh yeah, he's the cop. He's Mo. He's Chief Wiggum.
from the Birdcage. Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Hold on, this is blowing my mind.
I like that
That's
your
the crazy
poll for
part.
him was the Birdcage.
That's a great movie.
It
You know
is.
what blew my mind?
That Meg was actually what's her face?
No, that was kind of.
Yeah.
Actually, Meg was a different person for one season.
the
first
first season,
one.
right?
Yep.
Had to
the
be the
first
first
season
one.
was
They
Lacey
do that all the.
Chabray. Yeah.
God damn it! They do it all the time.
Brecken Myers
Brecken Sie Deutsch.
was Joseph from King of the Hill, Bobby's Indian friend.
Who the hell is Brecken Myers?
You ever see Franklin and Bash?
No.
Reboot? Rat
idea.
Race?
Nope.
Yeah.
Road
Rat
Trip.
Race.
Road Trip.
Road Trip.
One of the
Nope.
main characters in Road Trip?
Nope. Never
You've seen
it.
Road Trip.
Come
seen Road
on.
Trip.
Everyone
With
has
Tom
seen
Green?
Road Trip.
I have not seen Road Trip.
Oh.
And
Jesus.
the anaconda and the big giant leopard panties.
Puts the mouse in his mouth.
Wait, am I supposed to Google this?
Just, I'm going to keep.
No. It's okay.
It's still picked up.
Ladies and gentlemen,
got
Jacob just opened beer. If you were
Number
wondering what
7, by the way.
that. Yeah. Yeah, man, we can't contain this man. He's gonna drink the room dry.
It's like a party girl up in here.
That's cool, man. I remember first time I saw Seth MacFarlane, and I was like, damn, he's the voice of that entire Family Guy show.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? The wife,
Lois?
Lois.
Yep.
Like that lady that does her voice looks nothing like
Yeah.
I thought she would.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what's fucked up?
You stop.
Well, Lois,
Except-
You had the smiley face. You know what I'm thinking.
I know what you're thinking.
You
yeah.
sick
Except for the guy
bastard.
who voices Archer, every character on Archer looks like their voice actor.
Really?
Cyril looks like I can't think of the guy's name now, but whoever voices him.
Yeah.
Lana looks like who voices her.
Katie Seagal.
No.
I thought for
That's
the
Sons
longest
of
time.
Anarchy. No.
By the time, I did think for the longest time that she
Aisha
was
Tyler.
voiced by.
That was her name. Lana
Aisha
kind of looks like
Tyler.
Aisha Tyler. And Mallory Archer looks like the mom from Arrested Development.
No way, that's her voice.
Yeah, and I
That's
get
crazy.
Jessica Lange, I think is her name.
Jessica Lange.
Sure.
Sounds
With
right.
an E at
Okay,
the end.
that sounds
Yeah.
right.
She's
But-
Langy.
I remember listening to a documentary on Archer, and they were saying that it was just happenstance that the actors looked like their character,
That's weird.
except for H. John Benjamin, who looks nothing like anything he's ever on,
That's
especially Bob's Burger, because he does not look like a toe.
Bob's Burger. I never got into that show.
A human toe? Is that what you said?
He looks like a toe. Look it up. Yeah.
Is he drawn to look like a toe?
He just looks, I don't know if that was the intention, but
It looks
he looks
like
like a toe.
It looks like
Bob?
Josh's ring finger.
Bob?
All of Bob and his burgers.
Josh's ring finger, which looks like a stretched prune. Josh, what's your what's your documentary? Oh wait, Sean, what are we doing here?
What is our podcast brought to you by today? With special guest Jacob Smith and wife.
Just a regular old a Reese's peanut butter cookie.
Was it good?
Does that
is
have
good.
meat in it?
Is it what?
Does that have meat?
Feet.
You didn't say vegan.
I thought you said feet.
No. I mean, I assume all food has feet in it.
No feet, no meat.
Okay.
Well, it's chocolate, so it's made from baby skin. So no, it's not vegan.
Baby skin. Yeah, that's a baby. So now that you're done with your ham sandwich, what do
Yeah.
you got?
Mine is one that I watched just very recently, actually based on the recommendation from Mr. Chris Johnston, our special call-in. I'd actually known some of the story. Actually, maybe everyone in the room might be familiar with the story, but I watched the documentary on it. It's called West of Memphis.
I saw you post on Facebook.
It is it basically documents. I don't know. Are you guys familiar with the West Memphis 3? Anyone?
Wasn't that the three
Murder case?
dudes who got who
Yes.
got killed? They were like pro or anti-slavery activists.
Yeah.
Or right?
Not even close.
Wow.
What are we thinking of? Because I'm thinking of that one too.
Because that's what I'm thinking of.
I'm
Josh,
gonna look into that. Go ahead, Scoop.
Josh, you want to tell us about it?
Come on, Scoop.
Okay, so it's about basically the trial and the imprisonment of what they dubbed them the West Memphis 3, back in like the early 90s, West Memphis, Arkansas. These 3 8-year-old boys were murdered and bound and thrown in like not a river, but like, you know,
A body of water.
a body of water.
Okay.
What else do you do with a dead body?
Yeah, what else?
Jacob's right. I mean, there's only so many things. So
it's kind of the key thing you do with a dead body.
You ditch it
in water, in a body of water.
Boom. There's a connection. So did Jacob just solve the case, or what?
So, during the initial investigation, they basically had zero physical evidence. So they kind of bring in an expert, there's air quotes on there,
of course,
to kind of say, okay, look at all this stuff, look at the evidence, what is this about? And this person just kind of said, oh, well, this is clearly like an occult satanic thing. So then they took that story and said, okay, essentially, who could we pin this on? Because it was like, who...
I love doing that.
Like, who basically can we profile that, fits this profile that would, do stuff like this? So they kind of started to piece their own story together, almost essentially, for these 3 teenage boys. That was like, they were kind of known around town as like they wore dark clothes, and they were into like heavy metal music, and they kind of said that they did like cult like things, and they were into things like that. So they end up arresting these 3 teenage boys. Again, no physical evidence from the crime whatsoever. So they kind of twist the story to fit what they came up with and making this look like, an occult satanic murder. And they have just basically all of this terrible evidence, like kind of trying to pin all this stuff on him. Even the one kid, the one like main teenager from it, even had an alibi that he was actually at a wrestling match like somewhere else during the time that these crimes took place. And they had the thing that kind of put them in the guilty in the mind of the mind of the jury was that they had a confession from one of the teenagers,
forced, perhaps coerced,
completely coerced, and he was also the one of the 3 that they considered mentally handicapped. So they
go after the weak like a puma.
So they play this tape of him, confessing, again the air quotes, confessing, and that you can hear him, like the kid is just completely terrified. The police are essentially leading him and saying, they would just be like, well, what time did it take place? And you could kind of hear him going, like I don't know, maybe 5, maybe 6, maybe 8, and they're just kind of like, okay, so you're saying it took place at 7, and then he just kind of like would repeat,
just force feeding,
right?
him.
And he would just kind of be like repeat, like like 8 o'clock, and then they'd say something else, like, okay, so then, at what point did you like tie them up, or like at what point, did they stab him like with a knife or whatever, and he was just kind of being told this in his mind like over and over and over. This took like a full day. Normally you'd have like an hour or two of like questioning.
Hardcore slam.
This was a full day in which they didn't even fully release the whole tape. They pieced the tape together to play, to their side, their story. So they're found guilty. They go to prison, and from there on, it kind of follows the story of like this documentary was actually pieced together by Peter Jackson, and his wife. And there's other like celebrities that are actually involved in this, because this kind of came like a big like nationwide deal. So the documentary then kind of plays out with them. They actually pay and hire new investigators and have new tests done, new DNA testing and everything done to essentially kind of show like how ridiculous this initial trial was and how these kids have been sitting in jail and they're innocent.
What's this called again?
West of Memphis.
West of Memphis. This is the kind of shit that happens in the South, right? Can we call that the South? Technically, is that the line we want to draw?
Arkansas, we shouldn't draw it in the South, but...
Sorry, I'm going to go ahead and draw it in the
South. Yeah,
seriously.
the South.
Does that shit happen up here like that?
Yeah, it does, but
like...
we can't say that it doesn't happen more in the South, or that it...
Can we say that?
It just like seems to just happen and then not get recognized in a nationwide case.
Well,
and
Mike clearly favors the North.
They even
Ulysses S. Grant, bro.
And I mean that I'm speculating because if it doesn't get recognized by news or media documentaries.
Now you say
like
recognized, but you mean like
observed.
Pushed into the mainstream.
Well, however it happens, if it doesn't, then how am I supposed to know about it? So
thusly, it happens more in the South.
I'm speculating, but
yeah,
but
I'd be speculating too.
Well, they do actually bring up and mention laws, essentially that only exist still in like Arkansas
in like weird
courthouses.
Places. Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, and weird that these guys wear dark clothes. They must love Satan.
Well, that's kind of like, and they had like Henry Rollins is actually on it because he was like a big supporter of like.
He's a Satanist, a massive. Have you seen him in black clothes?
The West Memphis 3. That's kind of what he was saying. He was like, this is their description. This is what they're saying. Why these kids fit this profile. He's like, that was me. This absolutely could have been me.
Could have been me.
So, to kind of wrap it up, so I don't talk about it for like 30 minutes. They basically kind of show you why they believe and follow the storyline of like the stepfather of one of the boys and kind of show like why all the evidence and everything leads to him and why he's guilty and everything. And do you want me to spoil the end? Should I say the end?
Yeah, go for it, man. I mean, we're gonna watch it anyways. The journey.
So but basically by the end, they finally are trying to get a new. This goes all the way from early 90s to 2012, by the way. So
Holy
they spend 18 years in prison.
What?
And by the end, they're trying to get a new trial in which all of this evidence can be used in the new trial. All the evidence that they've gathered since the original trial, and it is kind of a stinky deal, but they get to be released from prison, but they have to enter what's called an Albert plea, which is admitting guilt to the crime.
Unbelievable.
But you don't have to have a trial and you get out of jail.
So someone, whoever did it,
is still out there.
Unfucking believable. But, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
And it is, I will say it is a very emotional and very tough watch because they do show you some pretty graphic things. I mean, they show like old like video clips and like pictures of like the boys like being pulled out of the water. So there's
I mean
it's pretty brutal. It's pretty emotional.
What's brutal is 18 years is a lifetime.
Right.
I mean, just picture. Can you remember the last 18 years of your life?
They were
what a difference 18 years ago compared to. There's a lifetime.
And there's like just like little things of like they actually follow just very briefly. They do follow their guys. They're grown men by the time that they're out of prison.
Yeah.
They miss that entire period of their lives. So there's this point where one of them is in a hotel room. When they get out of jail, and they have room service brought in, and he starts eating the salad, and he's like blown away. He was just like, "Is this cheese?" He's like, "Is this cheese on my salad?" And like this girl that like kind of became his friend or girlfriend or something, it just kind of like starts like crying, like like you've never had cheese. So.
You've never had cheese on a salad before. It's fucking sad, dude. Yeah. That's sad, but that happens a lot. I know it's the minority of decisions, probably. The justice system as a whole it has holes and shit in it. It's not perfect, but goddamn, when they get it wrong, man.
Yeah,
they get it wrong, and then they stick with it no matter what. I mean, I'm a big fan of Investigation Discovery Channel. It's like I don't know. It's one of those things where I like following the chase. I think I mentioned that in the last podcast.
Yeah.
But they do this all the time where the prosecutor has a hard-on for a suspect and will not look at any new evidence, won't consider anything new, and just chases that one lead. And then like a pit bull, doesn't let go of it.
And I only barely touched it. The occult satanic thing is really only the surface. The actual, down to the nitty-gritty, like the saying, like the knife that was used in the murder, what they use as an excuse for the scrape marks and the cuts and everything, all that stuff, all the new evidence that they bring up, and even several of the testimonies that they had by like people from like that town that knew the boys and everything. Even a lot of those were like they later on retracted them. One of the guys was even like, dude, he's like, I was like on LSD. I spent a lot of time like on drugs and everything. He was just kind of like, I'm sorry. He's like, I know, I'm sorry. I would take everything back if I could. But
he was a credible witness.
It was, yeah,
unbelievable.
It really is.
Happens a lot. Sucks. Well, how do you fucking follow that up? Well, I got one for you. Excellent choice, Josh. Actually, I've written all these down, so I'm gonna watch. I'm probably going to watch that one first so I can get like the sadness out of the way and probably go to Sean's and then sugar myself up.
I think Sean's would be a good one to wash down the
just
west of Memphis.
Just the depression of it.
That's a dark story.
That's a heavy
dark story. I mean, I don't think that there's anything wrong with watching that because I think that a lot of people for some reason get put off by what they call, oh, that's depressing. And
yeah.
It winds me up to no end that's a reason to not appreciate. I mean, but whatever.
You want to watch something like that?
To each your own. But
yeah, I mean, yeah. So I'll be watching that.
Cool.
Mine is I have one, and it's more because something pissed me off, so I get to like pick something that I like that made everything better as a whole. Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson. I'm going to have to take a stand here and say that show sucked. They decided to take a pure concept that Carl Sagan, a product Carl Sagan put out that it had its humanity and everything to it, and they turned it into some religious warfare. They chased down, they drew these cartoons, they made it about religion, and I wanted to learn about the cosmos, and Neil deGrasse took me on an adventure into garbage and obscurity. So
Thank you very much.
Seriously, it wasn't a show that, hey, I want to learn about the cosmos, man. I don't want you drawing me stupid cartoons and pontificating, interestingly enough, pontificating about how religion has I don't know, pissed on modern science and all. It's not true anymore, so that's gone. So, you know, hanging on to garbage. But the light in the darkness is a show called Wonders of the Universe, hosted by Professor Brian Cox, who is a learned astrophysicist. He will blow your fucking pants off. This guy is amazing. First of all, he loves what he does. In the very first episode, he takes you to one of our earliest attempts to understand time, and it's this stone calendar sitting on a hill in the desert, in the arid desert. It used to be painted white and have figures on it. Well, of course, thousands of years of degradation and weather have, you know, taken it down mostly.
Sure.
But it still operates as a calendar. So he goes there in September 16th or something. He's like, it should rise between the 4th and 5th towers. And that sun just pops right. I mean, because we're running on this fine-tuned machine, everything's the same, you know? Thousands of years ago, it's still the same today.
That's awesome.
So he never mentions a single thing about religions or politics, or he teaches you about the cosmos in a way it's palatable, and in another way he's not condescending. You know, he's telling you about time being this arrow, and he's talking about how did we discover this, saying that it was the second law of thermodynamics, you know, that entropy, you know, always reigns, that it's overwhelmingly more likely that things will degrade. And so he explains these things to you, and you're like, second law of thermodynamics? Well, shit, now I know what that is. You know, that's coffee conversation. So
it's our coffee conversation.
Yeah. And he takes these large ideas and he shrinks them down and he gives them to you in just this neat little package. It's the most wonderful thing ever.
I'm sorry, was this a TV show or a documentary?
A TV show on the BBC, and my friend,
of course it's
I
BBC.
brought the Blu-ray for you.
You did?
I did.
I love you.
I love your face. So it's something I would encourage. I could pass it around this room. You'd love it. You'd love it. You'd love it. And while you're watching it, you just absorb all this information. Again, being Blu-ray, if you have a nice setup, sound, video, I mean, you're taking it all in. And not a single time does he go off that beaten path. So I love it. I love it. It's not about what's happened in the past or anything like that. It's important to remember those things. But it wasn't a show built on taking jabs at religion.
I could not agree with you more about Cosmos.
It just was upsetting to me.
Yeah, me too.
And they're coming out with another season, which I can't imagine them, you know, beating the Catholic Church up any more than they did, or going after the Egyptians. You know,
so the Pope was on Jupiter.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what amazes me, is that if you're going to have a show that purportedly will teach you about the cosmos, don't history is important, but I'm not here for that. I'm not here for your cartoons about how somebody got burned at the stake. Teach me about what we know.
What channel was Carl Sagan's Cosmos on? Like
PBS.
PBS?
Yeah.
Could that be it, though? Because this one's on Fox.
Well, see, this is the other thing. You have a guy who does cartoons, Family Guy.
Yeah.
Seth MacFarlane funded Cosmos.
That blew my mind, by the way. I didn't know that until they showed the credits.
He purchased Sagan's estate from Sagan's wife, who, by the way, Sagan's wife's incredible person. But he purchased Sagan's estate, and I feel like when that show was coming out, I was like, oh, I can't wait. You know, here's this guy, Seth MacFarlane, this Richie Rich guy with this whole thing of his own. He loves sciences. He loves astrophysics. This is going to be an amazing show, and it just pisses on everyone. And I can't imagine, and I don't know a single person who enjoys the cosmos as much as I do, or as much as some people that I know do. No one has ever come out and said, I love that show.
I'm going to Clinton thumb this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Give it.
It's surprising that it took that direction, considering Seth MacFarlane has gone on record saying many times he's not really religious.
Yeah.
And Neil deGrasse Tyson on the same train of thought.
Well, Neil deGrasse has gone from being a great author. He's got a few great books, and I read his most recent book. I mean, I used to like this guy. I used to love this guy, and then he just became like the king of taking jabs, the king of quips, instead of just be the astrophysicist guy that kicks ass and brings people to science and makes people interested in the universe. Don't be this guy who just, I don't know, he's like a passive-aggressive tweeter, too.
Maybe nowadays everything has to be more politicized.
It's
or people
dumb.
feel it needs to be more politicized.
I want honesty. I want the
those
fucking
viewers, but
I want honesty, man.
Shouldn't be that way.
I hate that. Don't force feed me that garbage. Recently, there was an article that came out that said that in the not so distant future, but distant enough where we won't be around for it, the Earth is on a collision course with some rogue stars. And they said, even though they won't come into the inner solar system, what they will do is come close enough to the Oort cloud to agitate the asteroids and fling them into the inner solar system. Some of them, of course, will be absorbed by our formerly worshipped god Jupiter, because that is an unignited sun, as you know. So most of these asteroids get absorbed, but with the hundreds of thousands that will be thrown in the inner atmosphere or inner solar system, that some of them could smack into us. And if that should happen, what would you leave behind as a time capsule in a little indestructible black box that they put in airplanes that they should make the whole airplane out of? What would you put in that indestructible black box?
I just now noticed you're wearing a cat shirt.
The cat?
It's a cat badge shirt. I keep telling you about that thing.
You did.
Worship the cat.
You did tell me about that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Sean, go ahead.
I'd put this cat shirt in there for one.
What do you
I would
mean?
actually.
What would that signify to
Nothing.
whoever found it?
It would say the Mipos.
Imagine the shit that would. Imagine the shit that would start if somebody saw that like a million years from now and went, "What did they worship back then?"
Why did they? What is this?
You would write with an arrow on it, like Mipos.
Yeah, it
arrow.
would be like Mipos, and I'd put it there, and then they'd be like, "Oh, well, this is what the species looked like." This weird fucking creature.
And all of human history is just nothing with ears and tails.
Just Mipos
There's
everywhere.
Cats everywhere.
Anyway, so Sean, what would you jam in that little box?
Since the parameters of this one were human size boxes, I would put myself in that motherfucker.
Oh, Sean, you totally. I didn't even fucking think about that.
Yeah. And was this yours too, Jacob?
Well, I had considered that. I thought it might spoil the whole fun of the
Yeah,
Oh,
the whole
God,
fun.
no.
Yeah, you.
No, I'm just saying that
you
because you
kidding
took
me?
mine.
What would there be left for you? Nothingness.
Are you kidding me? Imagine
Desolation.
This. Okay.
Well, who are we suggesting finds this?
We
Why
don't
are
know.
we packing
We don't know.
it anyways? It's just
okay, this is like a Jason X scenario.
Why do we?
Anybody here see Jason X?
Unfortunately.
Oh my God! Ages ago.
Remember when the girl gets frozen and Jason gets frozen,
Yes.
and then they get sent to the future, and she's got to explain to everybody who Jason
Who he is, yeah.
Well, imagine if this guy here goes ahead and gets frozen, and everybody else on Earth is fucked.
The stories you would tell.
Oh my God, I would make up so much shit.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I definitely ran on water at one point.
Oh my God! They would worship you as a god.
In my atmosphere, I could turn water into wine, and I was hung on a cross. And,
So, oh my God!
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
You mean you're Sean?
yeah.
unreal. Oh my Sean. he would rewrite human history.
Jesus, Sean.
I feel like
Sean Christ. Sean Christ?
No, definitely not.
No.
Christ being chosen one. You have not been chosen by anyone but yourself. at this
Well,
point,
hey.
so.
It's got to be 2 syllables one syllable.
Well, I would tell
I
stories of
believe
all my
Jesus
friends.
Christ.
Schreist. I believe we can call him.
I tell them the Epic of Scoop.
The Epic of Scoop, the oldest human tale in history.
You'd be like the Moses of my story.
What else would you put in there?
Thank
You could
you.
put more than yourself. What else would you... Don't say Fleshlight, because we're not sponsored by them anymore.
2 flashlights?
Oh, my God. A pocket what?
Okay, if I had to put
That would be like his styrofoam packaging. He would just be surrounded by flashlights.
Yeah, no impact.
Why are these moist?
Why indeed? Why indeed?
Or he would be their styrofoam package
what if he's...
to help
what if-
safely deliver the
What if-
flashlights to whomever was going to find
Yeah,
them.
I'm not the capsule. The flashlights are
What
what's
if
getting
what
shipped.
if Sean is the alien's fleshlight? You never considered this.
Oh man.
You
I
may be
have.
the
I'm
alien.
kind of excited for this.
Oh my God.
yeah. I'm going to wear like a Patagonia jacket.
Oh my
What
gosh.
if they use you as the battery source for their flashlight?
Sweet.
Wow. What if they use you as a collection plate? No, this is getting out of hand.
A collection
So,
plate.
All right, yeah. So okay, are you doing anything else? Or are you just worried about you?
Sounds like he's just.
Sounds like
Just
he
worried
just...
about me.
That's
Yeah.
it.
It's every once in a while Sean would pack himself in a
You're not
box.
gonna pack in like your favorite movie or your favorite beer.
You know what?
Or are
if,
you expecting to get new favorites?
if I'm dead, if the world is gone and nobody can experience Matthew McConaughey in real time, they shouldn't be able to experience him in the future.
Oh my God. What a narrow view.
What an awesome view.
Sounds like a really pro Matthew McConaughey view.
Yeah,
is.
and oddly enough,
What's
like,
your favorite?
everything else
Can I
view.
just quickly ask what is your favorite Matthew McConaughey role?
Lincoln Lawyer.
All of them.
Lincoln Lawyer. Come on, what is that?
What? I can't. What? That's
Lincoln
not for me.
Lawyer?
No. His
Well,
Lincoln
easily-
commercial was
Oh, that's what
No,
you
I'm
meant.
kidding.
My favorite role would have to be True Detective.
That was pretty phenomenal. Yeah.
He had a pretty strong role. The eye makeup was the only thing that bothered me in that show.
Well, sometimes you got to just slap on a little eyeliner and say "fuck it."
Well, and
If Alice Cooper can get away with it.
That was not a little eyeliner.
That
Well,
wasn't even
so they
eyeliner at all.
it was maybe so. It was also so they could make that big of a
Age jump.
dramatic difference.
By the way,
between-
it was fantastic,
Yeah.
and they should win awards for that. That was
Yeah.
incredible.
Is it true that Vince Vaughn's going to be in the?
It is.
Yes.
How is that going to
Vince
happen?
Vaughn, Colin Farrell,
Imagine it.
Rachel McAdams.
Oh, really?
He.
Well, Colin Farrell's got a little
But
edgy.
Vaughn, he's gonna
macabre
crisp it up.
to him.
He's gonna crisp it up.
Now, the movie itself was shit, but have you seen
Curious.
Psycho with Vince Vaughn?
I just actually just the other day caught like a couple scenes of that. It was the scene where they have that awkward conversation, that really like painfully awkward conversation before
Yeah.
he kills her, and then he kills her. And the shower scene is
There's a shower scene.
Yeah.
With Vince Vaughn.
Have you seen the original, the Hitchcock Psycho? I mean, it's the
No,
iconic
I don't.
scene.
I don't watch.
But they
like a
black
baby
and white
holding the
shit.
map.
shot for shot, it's the same scene. But that preliminary conversation with Vince Vaughn,
Yeah.
I had not seen him in a role like that. It was quite odd. So
He played a really good, like, deranged person in that. The movie itself, again, was shit, but I feel like if he plays the bad guy or a Matthew McConaughey style character in this season, he could really pull it off.
I love the walk we just went on. So basically, inside your capsule, you would have a
Vince Vaughn.
copy of. now it's Vince Vaughn.
It's a two-person size capsule, me and Vince Vaughn.
Wow, you wouldn't take Kate Upton.
I'd take Justin Verlander's ass over her.
Oh my God, what an ass!
She is so plain.
I'm in that by you. She's so plain. She is like the most basic person.
I'm glad those nudes came out. I would have never.
What's yours, Jacob?
oh well, shit.
Surprise.
I guess are we gonna team up on this? Is she gonna help me
Wow, I
pick
don't know.
some
Sure.
things? Because
No,
now-
I think you have your own, and you can.
because I thought married life was me packing and then her unpacking for me and then repacking. But
it's good.
It's supposed to be a 50% life,
Yeah.
50-50 is what
That
I mean.
means you live
50-50.
80-20.
That's a very Jewish laugh.
Yeah,
I like
that was
it.
just a fake laugh.
I
Well,
can say that. I'm partial.
I don't know. It's supposed to be my favorite things.
Yeah.
I was kind of confused because I was like, who is this going to be for? If humanity isn't going to carry on at all and just some alien species is going to find this, they're always portrayed as not giving two shits about our culture and just wanting our natural resources and to
What if they
wipe
don't?
us
What
from
if
the
they're
face of the earth.
explorers, though?
Okay, so if they're more Lewis and Clark-esque
Yeah.
and they want to know about the sentiment and the compassion that we
history.
felt. I would obviously throw in a copy of Infinite Jest by David Foster Wallace.
They would never finish it.
Nope.
They'd get 3/4 of the way through, and you would ruin an entire other race of human of.
Well,
This is 600 pages too long.
If an intelligent species.
I like the quotes.
Yeah, there was air quotes just for everyone else listening here. There was air quotes. An intelligent species was unable to finish Infinite Jest. Then I don't know how the hell they found this floating capsule of shit in space.
Wow.
But I would put in Sam Cooke's Portrait of a Legend compilation.
Outstanding, Sam Cooke.
And I would put in. I guess you can't put in any perishables.
Let's say you
sure.
can. Let's say you can. Yeah.
You can
like
put
a
in,
Twinkie.
You can put in anything you want.
I don't think a Twinkie counts as a perishable.
That'll last longer than
It's like
stone.
it's like canned goods go bad before.
Yeah.
Canned goods go bad.
Well, all right, you I just did two. You get a few now.
I
Thank you.
I don't know about like putting in items to tell a story of our civilization, but I think I just put in stuff that I really like. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
can
fine.
I just do that?
That's fine. It's from you.
Sean's
Like-
putting in himself, so
Yeah.
absolutely.
So-
His entire self is going in that box.
I think that I would, if perishables are allowed, I think I'd put in a really, really good piccolo latte. Really good cup of coffee.
Wow,
Yes. that's a good pick.
You might change the world for some other
possibly.
species. Absolutely.
Can be a life-changing
In a to-go cup.
Oh, it's just not the same as drinking out of that little glass.
Okay, but it's gonna be like orbiting.
Summing
Whatever,
up the
like-
hipster snobbery of our generation.
Right, but
It's
it's,
okay.
Yeah, I love
okay.
the double meaning of it.
Yeah.
You're changing lives, one alien at a time. So say you could put it in a small glass. So what else would you put in there?
You absolutely could. That's we don't need to
We don't need to
nitpick.
go into the
Whatever
details of
goes
it.
in is safe.
The minutia.
Yay, I'm safe.
I thought that, Jacob, you might want to put in some raw salvage denim jeans.
Oh yeah, bro.
They'll still be around.
Love them.
They'll still be around.
I don't know. I mean, it's not. It doesn't speak the same thing that Sam Cooke's music or.
Yeah.
Bullshit if we think we can speak for
Entire
It's a-
species.
I don't know. I don't know.
agree. It's hard to like say, hey, if you were the representative.
She's gonna hate my list then.
Oh man.
I just think there's a difference between I enjoy the jeans on my body.
I do
But
too.
the book,
Yep.
I try and I don't try to give other people my jeans and go, you got to try these jeans on.
Why not?
Feel these jeans. They won't fit you.
Yeah.
Get your own goddamn jeans.
Damn.
I'll lend you a book though.
That's a good
People that
point.
find it don't have legs.
You know
Wait,
what,
say that
Jacob?
again?
Exactly.
For you, when I get discovered and everybody's like, "What was in your time?" I'll be like, "You got to hear about this Jacob Smith fabric, which will be raw denim."
Dang, he's gonna change
Oh,
the name
he's
of
gonna-
the entire fabric.
He's
for
gonna
you.
rename fabric,
And then he's gonna be like, it's called the fabric of our lives.
And
I
he's gonna
can't
be
take
like,
cotton. Is that cotton?
Cotton is gone. Just the whole thing is gone.
I can't take credit for.
You're going.
You-
You won't be able
you'll
to.
be
You're
dead.
dead.
You'll be dead.
But I shouldn't, is what I'm saying. I
You're not
shouldn't
gonna.
take credit for
You
that.
have no choice.
So I
This
listen.
is
Whatever.
the list
She
about
can,
what you shouldn't do.
no,
This is the
she
list
can.
of-
She can put in coffee, and I'll put in that book and that album.
Yeah.
And I'll put if we had to put one movie in. What movie should we put in? We can't agree on this.
Lose change.
We won't agree on this.
Sean. Sean
I
just
think,
flies a plane right into it.
Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption. You want to make him
A
cry?
story about
not?
gay inmates. You
What?
didn't think about it that way,
That's
did you?
on.
that's the Shaw Spank redemption.
No. Wow.
You got to go to the back of Blockbuster
Someone hit
for
Google.
that one, right?
Someone hit Google on that one.
Well, I know you won't let me say Moulin Rouge. So.
What would you do?
With Ewan McGregor.
She put
that is a
in
good
the-
one.
Beautiful voice.
Yeah.
Wait. What did you say?
Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge is an awesome
fantastic
movie.
musical.
Yeah, dude, it's great. I love the windmill.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
We're only saying that because we're trying to get off Jacob's side here with that one. But no, Moulin Rouge.
I'm not. I'm actually still waiting to hear his movie.
Yeah,
well, I don't know if what one movie defines
Inherent
I don't
Vice.
know,
all
is
of cinema.
obviously-
No, it's not. It really wasn't. It really wasn't.
I'm just kidding, but Jurassic Park 3 is clearly a winner.
That's what you put in. Yeah, you put
Gone
in
with the
something.
Wind?
You put in something as a joke.
Listen,
The
you put
Godfather?
Guardians of the Galaxy
Maybe The
in there because
Godfather.
that's what
That's a
you.
classic.
Isn't that considered like one of the most perfect movies to date?
No, that movie. Listen.
Yeah, personally, I
I'm
hate it.
sorry.
I don't like it.
Look,
but-
Sean and I spent an entire day watching The Godfather 1, 2, and whatever that third one was.
3-hour movie took like 9
It
hours
was-
to watch.
Let me tell you something. This was the stupidest movie I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how people are like, oh, it's a classic. maybe the cinematography, because nothing had been shot like that before. But I can tell you, story-wise, worst. Like, how did they know the one guy was going to be at that stoplight at that moment when they shot up his... It's just garbage. So many holes in it, you could drive a truck through it.
I would maybe do something like give credit to a specific filmmaker or something. Like put in like a John Hughes movie or something.
Who the fuck is John Hughes?
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah,
Really?
he's
No,
like anything
really.
John Cusack is in. John Hughes.
Oh my God,
directed.
Con Air?
That's
He directed Con Air?
He also directed Riddick and Pitch Black.
Sean is sure of himself to the nth degree, even if it's totally right.
John, I love the connection between John Hughes and John Cusack.
Is
John Hughes.
Do you know who the hell John Hughes is?
No, I recognize his name, but I
Josh.
know.
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Like the fires of John
16
Hughes
Candles.
for the future of humanity.
16 Candles, Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a classic.
Listen, guys, we
I
heard
agree.
some
I think
really-
the other two might have been a little. Breakfast Club was definitely cheesier.
Listen, with
maybe,
the gum,
but I love it. I
But
love
the
it.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off was the most
Weird Science.
weird science.
Weird
He did
Okay.
Weird Science.
In that
So-
vein, then 80s.
This is what this is turning into.
John Landis,
Oh, John Landis, for fuck's sake.
Lando Calrissian.
huh?
For fuck's sake.
No, An American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
That was probably the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life.
Trading Places. What are you?
He's
An American
weird.
Werewolf in
He's
London.
weird.
I've never seen a scarier movie than Gremlins and An American Werewolf in London.
You were okay. Listen, the one movie that actually
I pieced myself.
yeah,
I was trying for South African. Did I nail it?
he's
Not even close. Not even
Not
close.
even close. I pieced myself.
no,
Is it
not
good?
so. It's
I don't
too hard of an E.
That's
I pieced.
That's no one. You just
Wow.
you just made up
you know
a
what?
language.
Because I said I didn't know who John Hughes was, Josh.
Yeah.
All right. Hate me
Yes.
all you want.
Can I throw out a Matthew Broderick fact?
Dude, I've been waiting all night. Please lay it on me like butter on
I
hot
thought
bread.
this was gonna be one of the topics.
No. This is gonna be a topic.
Matthew Broderick?
Don't throw it now.
Yeah.
We have a whole topic
No,
built around
because
Matthew Broderick.
I was gonna say I get the feeling I know what you're gonna say.
He wants to wait.
We're gonna do a topic on it.
He wants you to pop that
In
cherry
like
in
5
the right
minutes?
time. No,
In
no.
I'm
like-
gonna shit myself if
and-
you don't
I
say
know.
In like 2 weeks.
I know we're totally. Oh, I'm
sorry.
so
Jeff,
long.
you're getting pushed to like March.
Can't
No.
even-
So
can't
far
even
away.
be the next one. It's gonna
So
be
far.
This is
away.
this is a tease now for them to listen to the show.
They'll never listen. They won't even listen to the episode they're on. Hey,
I will just to hear how weird my voice sounds.
so you're including
You're
John
gonna
Hughes.
hate it.
yeah.
You're including John Hughes? Are you going to put a John Hughes movie in there?
I'm not including John
He's
Hughes. I
not.
said John Landis, but
He
I'm not
said
putting a
John- Why the
John
fuck-
Landis
okay.
movie in either. Because he's funny, but I don't think that defines
Okay.
anything.
Who's
Please.
going in this fucking thing?
Look, I like the idea of categories. So for music, you do Sam Cooke, which is a great choice. What movie?
What movie?
She said. What was your pick?
She said Moulin Rouge.
Moulin Rouge
And Shawshank Redemption.
and Shawshank.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Rouge.
You're disappointing Jacob in every way.
Moulin
right
Redemption.
now. You are. Look at him. He's sad.
He's not offering anything up.
I don't know. I don't
You're
know.
right. You're actually right about that. He's
Which
gonna-
Debbie Does series would you put in the time capsule?
Ay, ay, ay.
Or is it Emmanuel in space? Go ahead. Go ahead. Throw
Is
whatever you
Emmanuel in
want.
Space also a pornography?
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
How do you feel about The Princess Bride?
Absolutely
Princess Bride
not.
is a great film.
Thank you.
I
Are
will
you serious?
stab you if you
Why?
put that
Because
in
Mel
there.
Thank you.
Blanc wrote it.
I'm not going to put that in the thing either, though. I just
Give me
don't know.
something.
I don't know. A movie to go in the thing? I
Okay.
think...
While you're thinking about it,
Let me...
You're-
go.
I really
You're-
want your answer.
You're overthinking it, man.
I
Sean-
don't think I am. This is a big question here.
The guy who originally voiced, and this is going back to my documentary topic, the guy who voiced Porky Pig, Bugs Bunny, Mel Blanc.
Brooks?
Okay.
Mel Brooks.
Are we...
No.
you were
Mel
saying...
Brooks.
You were
Mel
saying
Brooks.
blank
I said
waiting
blank.
for an answer?
I said blank.
He did.
Oh, I thought you were...
The guy who voiced Porky Pig, Bugs Bunny originally fell into a coma.
Yeah.
So as the doctors are trying to wake him up, they're like, Mel, can you hear me? Mel, where are you? Mel, tell me your name. Where are you? And he wouldn't answer. There was a cartoon on the television in the hospital room. And the doctor looked up, looked down at Mel and went, Bugs, where are you? And the guy answered him.
Sean, god damn it. Just fuck.
Was that too sentimental for you?
God damn it, dude. Right in my... I need more beer. Hey,
Yeah.
what's yours?
This is interesting because I never see you drink.
I drink all the time, just
He's
not
fucking-
beer.
yeah.
I fucking hate this stuff, dude.
He's
A
like-
fine Pilsner my ass. What's your list?
I'm sorry, Jacob. Were you done?
Yeah, he's fucking...
I'm done for now. I gotta.
I need a movie from you.
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
I'm gonna
over
come
here.
back to you.
All right.
And I'm
Is
gonna
it
expect
Gush?
an
Are
answer.
you going to put Gush in there?
What the fuck? Isn't that spelled Rush? What's your? Go
Sounds
ahead.
like a porn too.
It is.
Well, I'm not putting myself in, and I didn't point out very specific things to put in. So mine was kind of more of like categories of humanity, which is why I said she was probably going to hate my list.
Yeah. She looks like she's full of disdain right now.
English rule over.
She does it really well. It can't even be translated.
A lot of it is stuff that we kind of brought up of why we think humanity is great. Like top on my list is literature. I would include, to get specific, I guess, I would include the works of things like William Shakespeare.
Oh, yes, Miss Shakespeare.
And then I would say art. I would want to definitely pass along some art, whatever you'd want.
What would you put? You say Andy Warhol.
You can go
and I
way
come
back in the
across
day.
this
No, I was going to
table.
say like Michelangelo. To even some modern stuff, maybe obscure stuff like Dan McCarthy, who does like really cool stuff. I know a lot of people aren't going to know that name.
Yeah,
but
Alex Matharty or whatever. Yeah, he's an Irish guy. What else? Asshole. No, that was for me. Who's Paul McCarthy?
Dan.
What did he do?
He's an artist.
Can I look him up?
You absolutely can look him up.
Is it McCartney?
McCarthy.
Dan
Two
McCarthy.
C's. Dan McCarthy.
Okay.
Talking about me.
I'm seeing a
No,
lot
go
of
ahead.
like
What else you got?
like nature pictures, northern lights, forests, and the like.
He does. You know, he does all sorts of stuff. He has
You
like
know
a
what
print
this one-
club where he does.
Because this one looks really cool. It's a
Yes, that is him.
Triceratops skeleton.
That is him.
Is it a painting or a photograph?
It's
Painting.
It's most likely a painting. I don't think you get that in the photograph.
Oh yeah, that looks.
I got an American college football coach is currently the head coach at the University of North Texas.
Mike doesn't care.
I love that. That's sweet.
Yeah,
Right?
He does all sorts of stuff like that.
Okay,
He's got
I'm with you.
a bunch of amazing stuff. And actually, he does. He's got like a series that he does too. He does a series that what?
Completely wrong name. I got the wrong.
Okay.
Thanks, Google.
He does a series of the paintings that he does that are actually glow in the dark. He uses glow in the dark paint, which I think is pretty cool.
I think it's cool too. What
Okay,
else?
so an achievement. How about an achievement of humanity? And that would be flight, to maybe kind of pass along like
Superman.
the
skills.
Well, I was gonna say the Wright brothers.
I think more like aviation.
Aviation,
what he's referring
but
to.
just
Being
yeah,
a little judgy there.
man
Jacob.
achieving flight.
Okay.
Okay. I believe this is stealing from Sean here, but architecture. I would say to
I love architecture.
yeah
Oh,
pass,
I didn't know
pass
you
along
still
some
went
of
there.
our achievements in architecture, like I mean, even if you want to use like the pyramids to any more modern things like the Washington Monument.
Cathedrals, Gothic structures,
All sorts of stuff.
all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
And then
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Oh yeah, that's good.
and then our greatest and my greatest, music. I would want to just
Who would you pass along? What would you,
You know
pass
what?
along in a classical sense, and who would you pass along in a modern sense as far as music?
I was actually thinking of like if you did like an iPod full of music, I think it would be really cool to do like to kind of display like the range of essentially like the decades, like the sounds of the decades.
Yeah,
you
everything
know, of like
but
the past
country.
70 or 80 years. Yeah,
Yeah.
you do country, blues, folk.
Folk music is awesome, but country music is just I don't know.
Jazz.
You want to pass that on? Jazz. Sorry, I'm like totally judging your box.
You are. The room got silent.
I know, it got really quiet in here.
So that's my list.
I like that you split it up because you're passing on like the important parts of being a person, about being a human being.
That's
And it's
what-
all subjective though, because
I know.
that's what I liked about you giving the range, because you got to cover all bases. Because what if these guys, pick it up and they're listening to "Achy Breaky Heart" and they're like, "Fucking, we're glad these guys were destroyed."
I would absolutely not include that.
I'm gonna tell people that's the American national anthem.
Oh my god!
You better hope to fuck
just
I'm not the guy in the capsule.
So much exceptionalism in that.
I would probably get a little snotty with it. They'd be like, "Why is there like 3 Beatles songs and 85 Pearl Jam songs?"
So on the whole side of like what movie would you pass on in that capsule?
What movie?
If you could pass one American film, one piece of American film, what would it be?
Why does it have to be American?
Because
Starship Troopers.
Are you going to say Jurassic Park 3? What'd you say?
I said, good question. Why does it have to be American?
It doesn't have. Okay. I'm sorry that I'm waving the old glory up in this motherfucker. What film then? What French film struck you as? Is there one in particular?
There's this one.
Man, I don't know. One film is tough.
Okay, 2 films. Is it tougher or is it less
That
difficult?
don't involve John Cusack.
What?
That don't involve John
There's
Cusack.
nothing.
There's nothing. There's nothing.
Why don't you just do like what was that one he was in?
Con Air?
No, was it 12 12 12 or whatever? What was that called?
Con Air. 2012.
2012. Is that what film you'd pass on as an accurate depiction of what happened to mankind?
No.
On 2012.
Or The Day After Tomorrow, which was just a terrible movie, by the way. You like that movie?
Love that movie.
Why? 'Cause-
Jake Gyllenhaal was a gem.
Wait, he was in there?
Okay, Eraserhead.
You're unbelievable.
David Lynch, Eraserhead, just
because David Lynch. That's
fuck
why.
whoever finds this time capsule.
Oh my god!
And I just think that would totally throw him for a loop. So Eraserhead.
They would have they're coming from a place of no expectations, so you're gonna give them that Eraserhead.
Eraserhead.
I like how bold you are with this.
Because what else?
You're dropping David Lynch on these aliens.
Anything else they'll judge, and I think that one would throw them, for such a topsy turvy. I think that's the only way to get them off guard.
It's interesting.
Give them something like that.
So David Lynch. Have you picked a movie, Josh?
The Big Lebowski.
I fucking love your
man.
face right now. What a choice.
Left field pick.
Left field pick. Did you like that one?
That's one of my favorite movies.
Thank you, Jesus. Because the Jesus made that movie.
Nobody fucks with the Jesus.
Nobody fuck with it, Jesus. Not even the real one. So you're all set there?
My list is done. Yeah, you're done judging it?
No.
My thoughts of you have changed. But, whatever. That's for a different podcast.
Pretty
I'm
powerful
kidding.
statement.
Are you guys all you all set?
I think we're all set.
You're all set. Okay. Mine's terrible.
Yes, it is.
So for literature, I would do similar to what you did.
Tell the tale of humanity in a
Tell
way.
the tale of humanity. I think a good starting point, and it's on the religious side, but you know what? It's kind of one of those olden golden books. I would definitely pass a Bible in there just to kind of give like what majority of people. Sean?
Which one?
The one.
I mean, there's like the 6 King James redid, and then
No,
there's like the original, and then
yeah, you just put as close to the original as you can get.
Okay.
Anyway, because the rest of them. I heard this the other day, by the way, yesterday at my wife's church. They were talking about how all these different variations of the Bible are written, like because to make money on selling this book, you have to change a certain amount of the words in it. So they just say, this is this translation, and then they sell it. And then they go, this is this translation, and they sell it. So the only way you can make money is to change the translation. So that's why you have like 150 translations of the same book, because people are trying to copyright and make money on it. You're welcome. Anyway, so I'd pass that along because I think that's something that I think there's a great deal of knowledge contained therein, regardless of affiliations, right? Great deal of knowledge. I'd actually, you know what? I'm going to expand that. I'm going to put all holy books.
Well, it's just
in there.
it's good
There you
folklore.
go.
It's
There you
it's
go.
it's some prime examples of short fiction. So
That
Yeah, if you're gonna do it, why not tell all of our religious beliefs, not just yours?
it's that, okay. That's good for me because
And I'm not picking on you. I just mean
I'm just saying the Bible in it of itself is like 2 of the major religions. We could put some of the other religious books in there. Cool. Let them make their own calls or judgments. Whatever.
he's gonna wholeheartedly name the Bible and then just other religious books.
Yep. That's Sean is correct.
well, we don't need him to name them all off. It's okay.
No, I don't have that kind of time.
Good pick.
Thank you.
Next one.
Although I feel like you're lying. As far as music is concerned, I would definitely, there would be some Bob Dylan in that box. The entire category, the entire catalog of Bob Dylan's works, because the man there's There's something incredible about listening to Dylan.
Have you seen Inside Llewyn Davis?
No. Is this like a Sugar Man thing?
No, it's a Coen Brothers film.
movie.
Yeah.
Not
That
the
was
best,
Coen?
but that was a Coen Brothers. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just wrote it down.
You should watch it sometime. It's about a musician that is very Dylan-esque.
I like it. Yeah, so that'd be as far as music is concerned. Yeah, by the way, I just want to say this. One of the Voyager spacecraft actually have attached to it a gold album that Sagan got a chance to put all these recordings on, and also it's been laser etched, and it's supposedly it would last billions of years before it deteriorated. That if the aliens ever got a hold of the Voyager spacecraft going in the outer solar system, going to outer space outside of the solar system, that they would get these images. They'd know where to find us, which is kind of a tricky deal. If you're talking about aliens, you don't know if they're going to be friendly or not. It kind of gives them a star chart of where to find the Earth. Tells them, it has a picture of a man and a woman and the differences or whatever, and it has basically a bunch of mathematics written on it because it's supposed to be the universal language. So if you're intelligent enough to decipher the mathematics, that you're an intelligent life form, and you can decipher the entire disk, which is kind of cool. Because on there, musically as well, it's like the father of modern music, or music as it stands, which would be Papa Haydn. That's going way back. That's organizing these orchestral things. Like, that's pre-Mozart, pre-Beethoven. That's the guy that started the whole thing. So, cool stuff like that. Other than that, movie-wise, God, you named The Big Lebowski. That was a heavy hitter.
Sorry.
I would put Guardians of the Galaxy in there.
Would you really?
I fucking would. I think that movie's outstanding, and I think aliens would really dig it.
I picked a good one out then, huh?
Dude, that thing's incredible. Thank you for the gift.
You're welcome.
Nobody would put Mean Girls in there?
I would put Mean Girls in there and say, this is how we weren't.
Alternatively, though, what if Guardians of the Galaxy is like
A documentary?
really racist against aliens, and we don't
It
even
is,
know
and
it?
it's hilarious.
But they'd watch it and they'd go, "Oh, these insensitive pricks."
And I would get some sort of satisfaction from that.
Because they'd be doing what you thought of. They're like, oh, yeah, sure, we don't know what this means.
Yeah, that's the hilarious part, all the gestures. They just wouldn't figure that out. It's funny. So
Star-Lord, man.
So there's mine just right there. There you go. You're welcome. Anybody want to tear the shit out of it?
No, sir.
Thanks.
No art?
Any more books tonight?
You know what? I'm going to tear into myself. What kind of stupid movie?
I named art.
No, him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
art.
Artwork for me would be the greats. Would be the Ninja Turtles. Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo would be the greats.
Yeah. I was thinking photography when you mentioned
Very interesting.
that. I thought like maybe because I like street photography more because it tells the story of people. But I think that maybe the aliens might also like more of an Ansel Adams landscape photographer to see the absolute beauty. The
that
pinnacle
was
of
the
beauty
Earth.
that could be captured in in our lifetimes of the Earth.
Yes.
So.
Very cool pick.
Okay.
Do you need my freaky fingers?
Yeah, finger me. Don't.
Intro.
Thank you for joining us on another adventure here on Tales from the Void podcast. I bring you your illuminating hosts.
I'm Mike.
Hey, I'm Joshy.
I'm actual Mike, and that was Sean, weirdo.
It's Jacob.
Jacob, thank you very much for coming on. We had a really good time.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. And, of course, the lovely Georgia.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much for contributing to our wonderful show. We'd like to give a shout-out here real quick to our Pittsburgh brothers in NetWaves, the 1UP Cup. Chris, thanks for hopping on.
Thank you, Chris. We love you.
You can find the 1UP Cup on Facebook, Twitter, and their blog at oneup-cup.com. Also, remember to visit our sponsors. We're brought to you by Detroit Grooming Company for all your gentlemanly needs. You can find them on the web at detroitgrooming.com. It's a kick-ass website. You should really be going there. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Detroit Grooming. And Cellar Soap and Skin. Brandon, we love your face, dog. Get your butt clean. Wash your butt. Wash your face. Wash your face first. Because yeah, you know how
soap, it cleans itself.
Listen. If you're not washing yourself, you're an idiot. But visit them everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Cellar Soap and Skin and cellardoorsoapandskin.com. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud at Tales from the Void. If you're not finding us anywhere on the internet, you're just not looking. Thanks for listening, everybody. Good night.